So they're saying that the HBCUs are seeing huge enrollment spikes after that Supreme Court's ruling on affirmative action. I am disappointed in this, but happy about it at the same time, because this is, I mean, this is good for the HBCUs. This is good for those African American college students that are striving to do better. Like, go somewhere where you're wanted, where you're respected, and where you could actually thrive without the without prejudice, really. At least without prejudice due to your skin, the color of your skin. It's a good thing on that, right? In my opinion. But I what I don't like is that, again, we're getting forced out of spaces where we qualify and where we belong as human beings. Right? It's no different than, back in the day when you had, whites only and blacks only, right? If someone wants to go use a white water fountain, it was a no. And systemically, that's what's happening with these colleges after that affirmative action ruling. So let's check this out though. They dive into a little bit of the numbers and what's going on. Y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, it's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
Several historically black colleges and universities opened the new school year with record enrollment. This comes at a time when some predominantly white institutions are reporting a decline in student diversity. New tonight, 10 on your side's Lauren Martinez visited an HBCU to learn about a shift in the black education experience.
In 2023, the U.S. Supreme Court reversed affirmative action, preventing colleges and universities from using race in admissions. And while the decision has been a blow for many, one group is benefiting.
And that group is HBCUs. It may not be a surprise that black and brown students have less opportunities of acceptance at elite, predominantly white institutions, in which some have even disposed race-based scholarships. Virginia's Hampton University now joins the list of historically black institutions of higher learning, seeing a jump in this year's enrollment numbers.
Well, I think that many students recognize that this ruling impacted them personally. And so they, again, want to be in an environment where they feel welcomed, that they feel safe, that they feel that they will have an opportunity for success.
Boyd also attributes the spike in interest in HBCUs to the Black Lives Matter movement.
It's when I noticed this shift. We were certainly receiving a lot of applications, but during that time there was a little bit of an explosion, and a welcomed one.
HU is also seeing significant growth in enrollment from the previous 2 years.
We are expecting a class of about 1,200 new students, and so we are very excited about that. Undergraduate population is about 3,600. Our overall population is probably nearing 4,000 this year.
I spoke with some of the incoming freshmen to hear what influenced their decision to attend an HBCU and if affirmative action was a factor in their decisions.
I knew that I wanted to go to an HBCU just because I wouldn't feel right being at a PWI. There's a different energy surrounded by you when you are around people like you and people who have gone through things similar to you.
I wanted to be part of the change and part of the reason why more resources were being poured back into the black community.
When there's things or problems that come up, and
We're so lucky enough to be in a generation where we're speaking out all the time and using our platforms. Both my parents went to HBCUs. They would always tell me about their wonderful experiences.
You can stack our programs against any programs in the country, and we don't necessarily like to say that we are a monolith, because we're not. We are capable of being competitive with the best of them.
The university hopes to reach a goal of 5,000 students between online and on campus. Reporting in Hampton, Lauren Martinez, 10 on your side.
Yeah, I definitely competitive. It's just the systemic barriers that keep us from being competitive in these spaces. Right. And when I say us, I mean the HBCU campuses. And all of those students they interviewed, very well spoken, sound like, they wasn't just talking from, from what they heard or whatever. They sound like they really understood and had a serious purpose as to why they chose an HBCU. That's really dope. So like I said, I'm very happy with the increase and the awareness amongst the youth and what's influencing their decision. I just don't like how it happened, right? The system has pushed us to places where we may want to go now, but it wasn't our first choice, right? And shout out to those who their first choice was HBCU. That's great. Nothing wrong with HBCU. I'm referring to the students that want to go to MIT. I did a video. The last video I did was on MIT and how they're they rolled back their affirmative action, their affirmative action, and saw I think like a 50% decrease in African American students. Like, what about the African American kid that wanted to go to MIT but couldn't? Right, and now he has to go to an HBCU. Again, that's not a bad thing that he has to go to HBCU, but it's a bad thing that he systemically he was forced out of the decision to go to somewhere like MIT. But I think another thing that will help the change is us as a Black community putting more emphasis on the prestige and the honor it is to be at an HBCU. Right? Because, I mean, what's so good about, going to, the PWIs? Yes, system-wise, you'll get the best networking privileges, and you have that badge of honor for going to a top elite Ivy League school, PWI. But at the end of the day, we are still Black, and we're still going to be treated like one. I don't care if you got a degree from Harvard, you're still Black, and you're still going to be treated like one, like a Black person. So really, what's the big deal with even trying to go to these quote unquote elite prestigious schools? PWIs I'm referring to. The biggest thing we need to do is talent wise, sports, athletic talent wise, we need to bring that talent and keep that talent at HBCUs. That's what we need to do. But that's easier said than done. Mostly because the endowments of HBCUs are far, far less than those of these PWIs that are in the, the Pac-10 and D1 schools and stuff like that. And that's what it all boils down to, money, which our community does not have a lot of or enough of to be able to, pull the strings that are necessary to keep the talent in these schools and to move those schools into these bigger, more reputable divisions in sports, thus making them a more attractive school for athletes and students in general. Which then, by default, brings more educated people to want to come to that school, and so on and so forth. But this is interesting. Like I said, this tugs on both sides of my emotions. But overall, it's a good thing. Good thing for the HBCU education system. Y'all let me know what y'all think. All right. Y'all let me know what y'all think. It's Ricky Rich of Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.